There once lived a crow who could never sit still. From sunrise to sunset, he flew over the forest with a restless sparkle in his eyes, always hunting for something shiny. A button dropped by a hiker, a ribbon from a picnic, a silver ring from an open window. His nest looked like a treasure chest, glittering with feathers, beads, and bright wrappers that shimmered in the light. He even stole little trinkets from nearby houses, keys, earrings, bracelets, anything that caught his attention. To him, the more it sparkled, the more valuable it was. Every evening, as the sky turned orange and gold, he perched proudly on his branch, admiring his collection like a king counting his coins. Not far away, on a lower branch of the same tree, lived a small sparrow. Her nest was plain, made from straw, leaves, and bits of thread. She had nothing that glittered, yet every morning she sang with such peace that even the trees seemed to listen. One afternoon, the crow couldn't resist teasing her again. "Don't you ever get bored of that shabby little nest?" he cawed. "Look at mine, it shines. You should try collecting something beautiful for once." The sparrow smiled gently. "Maybe," she said, "but I find beauty in simpler things. The warmth of the sun, the sound of rain, a quiet morning to sing." The crow chuckled. "You sound like one of those monks who think peace is enough to fill your stomach." And with that, he flew off toward the town, chasing more glitter and gold. Days turned into weeks. The crow's nest grew heavier and heavier, bending the branch beneath it. Yet, deep inside, he felt empty. Every time he found a new shiny thing, joy lasted only a moment before fading into restlessness again. Then one evening, the forest grew silent. Dark clouds rolled across the sky, and the air turned cold. The sparrow tucked herself into her small nest, whispering a quiet prayer for safety. The crow laughed. "A little rain never hurt anyone," he said, proud and unbothered. But soon, the sky roared. A storm unlike any other tore through the forest. Wind howled, trees bent, and rain pounded the earth. The crow's glittering nest trembled. Then, with one powerful gust, it shattered apart. Feathers, wrappers, buttons, and shiny trinkets scattered into the storm. Everything he'd spent his life collecting, gone in an instant. He tried to grab them mid-air, but the wind was too strong. Soaked and exhausted, he barely managed to find shelter under a branch. When the storm finally passed, silence returned. The crow sat trembling, watching the first rays of sunlight break through the clouds. All his treasures were gone. His branch was bare. Then he heard something, a gentle song. He looked down and saw the sparrow. Her tiny nest, though soaked, still stood firm. She was singing softly to the new morning. The crow flew down, his voice weak. "I spent my whole life collecting what sparkled," he said, "but I lost everything that mattered." The sparrow tilted her head kindly. "Maybe now," she said, "you'll see that peace doesn't come from what we hold. It comes from what we let go of." For the first time, the crow didn't argue. He sat beside her, listening to the sound of the forest waking after the storm. The air smelled of rain and new beginnings. He didn't have treasures anymore, but for the first time, he felt free. That morning, the crow realized he was never poor, just distracted. In a world that keeps telling us to chase more wealth, more beauty, more success, we often forget what truly matters. Peace isn't found in what we own, but in how content we are. The crow's greed showed us that collecting too much can become a burden, leaving us empty when life's storms arrive. Real wealth lives in simplicity, in a thankful heart that values peace over possessions. Like the sparrow, those who find joy in the ordinary live freely. The greatest treasures aren't the ones that shine before our eyes, but the ones that rest quietly within our hearts. Stay inspired, Stay growing, tap subscribe, and never miss a new life-changing story.